Oh, happy days. Goodbye, grey sky, hello, blue. Nothing can hold me when I hold you. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Rocking and rolling all week long. Tuesday, Wednesday, happy days. Thursday, Friday, happy days. Saturday, what a day. Grooving all week with you. Welcome to the Rich and a Little Bit of Chris show live on Smile Radio. Yes, Eric, I am all alone. I forgot to ring you earlier to see if you wanted to come in later on to promote what's coming up on the 28th of November. So if you want to know any more about what's coming up on the 28th of November, stay tuned. We'll give you all the information what's happening. I'm going to be doing a different show this week. I'm going to be playing some previous interviews that we've had over the last 2 or 3 months. Also, we've got a live interview with Lee from the Far North Band with their latest single that's just been released. But first of all, I'm going to kick off with a little song from my favourite band at the minute, and this is called Civic Green, and There's Always a Light. So you listen to Rich and a little bit of Chris, without Chris should I say, live on Smile Radio. Hopefully be joined by Eric Sykes from the Samantha Sykes Foundation in a little while. Safe distancing and all that, don't worry. So we're going to kick off with a little bit of Civic Green live on Smile Radio, and these guys are from Barnsley. Check them out. They're being a featured artist on Smile Radio, and that's www.smileradio.co/the featured artist. We're right back after this.
Put me back on my feet for the while.
tune. That is my absolute favourite track at the minute. If you want to check these guys out, they've been a featured artist on Smile Radio. I'm going back probably a month or so ago now. But we've got the interview from Rachel Barrow coming up in the next sort of 5 minutes. I'm going to be joined by Eric Sykes from the Samantha Sykes Foundation Trust. We're going to be talking about a special event that's coming up on the 28th of November. So stay tuned, we'll tell you all about that. We've got Charlotte and Sean working, and I'm sure she's got the whip out, and not for the normal bedroom Olympics. I'll let you know about that drill as well, Sean. I asked the boss yet, see if I can have it. But anyway, so coming up, like I said, we've got the interview with Lee from the Far North Band coming up just after 5 o'clock. He's coming through the powers of technology. Chris, I might be trying to get hold of Chris a little bit later on, because obviously with all the local measures of lockdown and all the rest of it. So even though you can come into the studio and we can be safe distance, he's I don't know, he's not comfortable with it. So anyway, but hopefully with the power of technology we shall have him and Lee on a little bit later on, but we shall wait and see. But we're going to be joined with Eric, as I said. So what's playing on in the background is the Violetas Geosim, and these guys are from Hull. So I'm going to ramp this up a little bit, and then we'll be playing the interview with Rachel. So stay tuned, have a fantastic listen. I'm waffling now, so I'm just going to go. So this is Violetas, the guys from Hull, and this is Geosim.
Forget me not, my serotonin's all I got. It's 6 o'clock and I swear to God, oh. In the wig I'll seek any photo opportunity. I'm terrified of your company, oh. Forget me not, my serotonin's all I got. It's 6 o'clock and I swear to God, oh. In the wig I'll seek any photo opportunity. I'm terrified of your company, oh. Accept or decline this allurement of mine. I'm just a wine away from feeling I can put on a show. Accept or decline this allurement of mine.
Sean, you know I'm scared of the boss. I don't even know why you bothered asking that. I'm not even in charge when she's not in.
Forget me not, my serotonin's all I got. It's 6 o'clock and I swear to God, oh. In the week I'll seek any photo opportunity, but I'm terrified of your company, oh. Forget me not, my serotonin's all I got. It's 6 o'clock and I swear to God, oh. In the week I'll seek any photo opportunity. I'm terrified of your company, oh. I was born by the river in a place called the Kingstown, where we stand by each other in a city bunch could not keep down. It runs deeper than Elizabeth Dock, bolder than the bridge across the Humber, from the land of green ginger up to Hazel Road. And I'll meet you on the north side, where the diamonds shine in the mud, and the slowly rolling river is forever in my blood. Some came on the trawlers, stronger than the cranes on the quay, bolder than the bridge across the Humber, from the land of green ginger up to Hazel Road. And I'll meet you on the north side, where the diamonds shine in the mud, and the slowly rolling river is forever in my blood. This was for the bombs that fell on Angleby Road. This was for the men who sailed and never came home. It runs deeper than Elizabeth Dock, bolder than the bridge across the Humber, from the land of green ginger up to Hazel Road. And I'll meet you on the north side, where the diamonds shine in the mud, and the slowly rolling river is forever in my blood. Yes, I'll meet you on the north side, where the diamonds shine in the mud, and the slowly rolling river is forever in my blood. I'll meet you on the north side, where the diamonds shine in the mud, and the slowly rolling river is forever in my blood.
Welcome back to the Rich and a Little Bit of Chris Show, live on Smile Radio. I've been joined with my very special guest, Eric Sykes. How are you, Eric?
I'm great, thanks. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon indeed. So, right, I know we've got, we'll just turn that down a little bit. So that's a bit of Bethany Rose, all the way from the US of A, with her latest track. So, coming up, like I said, we've got an interview from Rachel Barra. We're just going to be playing a couple of old interviews whilst we're waiting for our guest. Also, we've got, well, I know Julie's going to be doing a special announcement, but we've got, because of all the current events and everything that's going on, we're not able to do the butterfly ball this year, so we're doing something a little bit different, aren't we, Eric?
Yeah, we're going to do a bit of a virtual butterfly ball. Just try and get a little bit of funding in. Good excuse to get together and have a few drinks, and be nice to see people join us on Zoom. It's just been a very difficult year for all charities, not just the Samantha Sykes Foundation. But in our case, because we are just event based, we're paying a lot out and not getting anything back. So the bank balance is plummeting rapidly.
Yeah. So we've got Karine and Davois, who do a fantastic job doing the markets, doing Facebook, eBay, doing all sorts of stuff. So they've been generating about £1,500 a month, haven't they?
Yeah,
Bless them.
yeah. Without them this year, we'd have really struggled. They are our biggest source of income currently. We've kind of had people that aren't going to the ball donated what they would have spent on tickets. So Sue Alexander and Steve Jones, they gave us £100. We've had a few others, so everything's gratefully accepted. And as my Billy used to say, your money well spent. So I'm going to show you, if you could see what I've currently got in my house, of about £5,000 worth of equipment to hand out over the weekend. So like I said, the bank balance is going the wrong way.
So also I want to take this opportunity to thank Stephen Hawkins, not the physicist, who kindly, going back over the summer, a few of us did this 25 press ups for 25 days for PTSD men, suiciding men, and I decided to do it for the Samantha Sykes, and I raised, well, including what Stephen's given, probably about £1,500. Yeah. Which I am absolutely in awe, and thank everybody for donating and because a fat lad doing a few press ups, it's not a bad effort. I were chuffed to bits, to say the least. So yeah, so coming up, we're gonna do this virtual. So again, if people do want to donate, it would be greatly appreciated. So if you go to the Samantha Sykes Foundation Trust, and there's a tab there to make a donation, and don't forget, give the gift, Dave, because what do we get? What do you get for the gift? Is it 20?
25%. Well, you get your tax back.
Yeah, you get your tax back on it. So every little bit helps, says the elephant weeing in the sea.
Massively.
So if you can, please, 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 please donate and join us on the 28th. And I'm hopefully, we might even have a band. Eric doesn't even know this yet, so I've had a message today. A band might be able to try, with the power of technology, play via Zoom. So we've got a few guest speakers, hopefully, as well, haven't we, Eric?
Yeah,
with a bit of luck.
Talk a little bit later about what we've got. Me and Richard will talk offline, but stay tuned and you'll hear what we've got planned.
So yeah, and don't forget, if you want to, even if you want to donate now, you can. So go to the website, Samantha Sykes Foundation Trust. Just Google Samantha Sykes Foundation, it'll come up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the interview from Rachel Barrow. I've got probably about 20 minutes of this, so you might throw you a little bit because there's Chris on this. It's a pre-recorded interview that we did. So I'm going to shut up and I'm going to play this now. So you listen to Rich without Chris with my special guest Eric live on Smart Radio. Chris, and a little bit of Rich.
You've crashed there, haven't you?
I got my teeth in. Right then. Should we introduce our guest? Can bear with us. Can you hear us, Rachel?
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. Right then. Let me just get you swapped over on screen so we can see you, and all our viewers and listeners can see you. There we go. So, thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, thank you for having me again.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. So, what you been up to? What's new in the world of Rachel?
Well, I recently released my new single, as you know, Ground Up. I, like everybody else, have been inside a lot. I mean, I like being inside, but this is like, pretty full on. So I haven't been out doing my gigs or anything. So I had to find a way to entertain myself. So I decided to write this song, and I didn't want to pick it apart too much. So I kind of wrote it myself and I produced it myself here in my living room. And it was just a few weeks later, I just decided I was going to put it out, So I've sort of just been working on that and obviously writing a lot and, the usual, nothing too unusual.
So what made you, I know you're saying you've been on lockdown, so Ground Up, I mean, I've listened to it 3 or 4 times now, and I mean, for those who don't know, me and Rachel was having a conversation last weekend, and between myself and Richie Yoda, who's our leader who looks after all the music submissions, I was going through, and it actually just come through whilst I was looking at all that, because we literally get, and I'm not exaggerating, we get hundreds of submissions every week, and there's only 2 of us, because obviously we're only still a relatively small station, even though we've reached over, I think since we launched, over 300,000 listeners since we launched. So we're chuffed to bits of what we've achieved in a short space of time. But so when it come through, and I clicked on, and it just happened to be there at the top of the email, because I'd literally got loads to go through, because it's I don't want to be discouraging anybody to submit music, but we get lots, and some of it is better than others. Is that
That's a fair.
I'm trying to be polite, because some of it, I'm thinking, I can't play the spoons, as we had that conversation. So, but and I played yours, and I thought, oh wow, and I played it to my wife Marie, and I said, what do you think to this? And she goes, God, she sounds like Adele, doesn't she? And so yeah, really.
Thank you. I mean, it's hard to know when you're doing it though, because you're so in it, and then you just don't even hear it anymore. You're just listening to it, and that's what happens when you start to like deconstruct songs. It's a bit of a it's a bit of a tough one. So with this one, I just wanted to leave it. I didn't want to overdo it, or I just wanted to put out something. It's never going to be shiny when especially when you're kind of doing it yourself. But it's not really supposed to be shiny, because once you shine it up, and it all becomes a little bit more imperfect, I guess.
Would you say that lack of polishing it up reflects the current mood of the country and what we're actually in as well?
Yeah, I think so, because it's very like, it's quite stripped back. Like, yeah, same with my other stuff. You kind of, the words are really simple, but I wanted them to sit within the production. I didn't want it to be over the top. And so, especially, yeah, like I do that now with a lot of my songs, like, because I start them on piano, so it always turns out relatively sad. I just don't know why, but so when I start from piano, I always know which way it's going to lead. But I just felt, yeah, I did an acoustic version also, but I just wanted this version to have, you know, drums in it and a little bit more of a lift, just because this current situation is, I mean, it can be looked at as a number of ways, but it could sometimes be a bit depressing too. So I didn't want to put out a depressing song, because I do like, you know, sad songs. So yeah, it was sort of like hopeful song, but yeah, I just like, yeah, I didn't want to overproduce it or over sing it or over anything.
I mean, because a lot of people have taken this time, you know, if you've been furloughed or in lockdown, for general reflection and of where you are and where you want to be moving forward. Because we will come out of this at some point, and it's how we then grow from this current situation we're in. That's everybody. Now we deal with it moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can. Yeah, like some days you feel fine about it, and other days you might like start panicking, and it's that thing of like, you know, I'm not saying my situation is the same as everyone else's, but there is like a similar thread running through the whole thing. So when you write a song, you're thinking, oh, I wonder will anyone relate to this, or who will? But with this song, I was like, well, surely this is a way for me to sort of express what I'm feeling, because I'm sure there's people that feel the same. And you know, when you know that someone else feels the same as you, that automatically gives you comfort. Do you know what I mean? So I wanted to put it out for that reason. You don't feel like
the only one.
Yeah, and then it's not so depressing or, you know, sad. It could be, so I just wanted to put it out for that reason too, you know. So I just felt like a good time to write something to reflect the situation, you know.
Excellent.
So without further ado, should we play your track that you've done, Ground Up? Should we play it?
Okay, let's do it.
Right then, so this is, am I pronouncing your surname right? Is it Barrow? Barrow?
That was actually really good. Yeah, it's kind of like people don't really get that name right. So, but that's it, Barrow. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Because normally, you want to see Chris's face, because I am thick with a capital F. My grammar, my spelling, and he's always taking a can out of me, you know. So I've been, and I forgot to ask you earlier on when we were talking on the phone. But anyway.
Yeah. Oh, you got this one.
Pat yourself on that, Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Right then, this is Rachel Barrett, live on Smile Radio, and don't forget, if you want to check it out, go to our website www.smileradio.com/the featured artist. We'll be right back after this.
Look in the mirror, what do I see? Hello reflection, hello again me. These little distractions don't work anymore. You see, 1 minute I'm up, then I'm down on this roller coaster. Open the window, the streets are so bare. Behind every closed door, a story to tell. Inside of these four walls, a chance to begin. I got a room in my heart that I'm saving till we meet again. I'm holding on to something I can't see. I'm waiting for the day where I can breathe again. If we crumble, if we fail, together from the ground up, we can build this house again. From the ground, from the ground, from the ground up. From the ground, from the ground, from the ground up. Been missing my family, been missing my friends. Watching too much TV is not good for my health. there's a treasure inside waiting to be found. I'm holding on to something I can't see. I'm waiting for the day where I can breathe again. If we crumble, if we fail, together from the ground up we can build this house again. From the ground, from the ground, from the ground up. From the ground, from the ground, from the ground, from the ground, from the ground up. From the ground up, from the ground up. From the ground, from the ground, from the ground up. From the ground up we can build this house again. I'm holding on to something I can't see. I'm waiting for the day where I can breathe again. If we crumble, if we fail, together from the ground up we can build this house again. You're listening to Rich and a little bit of Chris on Smart Radio.
Rachel, that is absolutely beautiful. And I'm not just
Oh.
saying it because you're there. We're getting there's a lot of love on Facebook. We've got a few love hearts. Zoe Shacks is saying, love this. So don't forget, tell these people where they can find you. And
Yeah, so they can find me on, you know, the track is on Spotify and it's on Apple Music and Bandcamp, and it's Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Rachel Barrer Music, so it's the surname. It's a bit of a tricky one, but it is BARROR. So it's Rachel Barrer Music, and there, yeah, that's all my sort of all the platforms that you can find me on. So yeah, I'm glad.
Absolutely amazing song.
Thank you.
I made one or two notes when the music, where the song was playing. You spoke briefly before we played it about feeling quite a sad song. The piano leads to a melancholy tone to begin with, but with the additional instruments that come in behind, it begins to uplift the song throughout, and it feels to me that, my opinion was, it was a song of hope and rebirth after the darker days. I loved it. And you've a fantastic voice.
That's very sweet. Thank you. That's I mean that's kind of what it. Yeah, that's sort of what it is. And it's not with this song. What you've just said there actually kind of reflects all the songs that I've been writing the last maybe 6 months or a year on the piano. I haven't released a lot of them, but yeah, I always feel that sort of mood, like you said, with the piano. There's something about when you start writing on the piano, it just takes you down a different path.
A darker, sadder tone, but with the additional instrumentation that you added halfway through the song, it give it another level and a slightly different direction to the song, and it become more and more uplifting, I thought.
Yeah, and so it puts a different spin on it once you add in the instruments. Yeah, it's true.
But you've got quite a you've got quite a soulful voice. When I close my eyes, I could. Yes, I get the Adele thing, but I also got a little bit of an Alicia Keys thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Alicia Keys was brilliant. Like, I mean, when I think of her, there was nobody else that was kind of doing what she was doing. I feel with definitely soul music, I naturally kind of gravitated towards gospel music and soul music. And anytime I used to like sing in church as well, or anytime I'd sing in church, I'd like to just sort of sing without the organ, or I love like soulful songs. Like there's quite a lot of soul actually in those sort of like hymns. And I just always liked soul artists, even though, you know, I grew up in a different sort of environment. I didn't grow up with that sort of music so much. So I just gravitated towards that sound. I don't know. It's just the voices of some of these.
You briefly touched on singing in the church. So, as a young girl in Ireland, what sort of music did you listen to? Obviously, were you singing in the church?
When I was singing in the church, at that point, I was listening to Prince obsessively. Prince, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind and Fire, like that, all those artists I started listening to, at around 18, because I started singing in church at around that point
Yeah.
as well, 17, 18. Sister Sledge, Cameo, all those groups, and R&B artists, and definitely obviously Alicia Keys,
Yeah.
So they were all the artists that I was listening to, but yeah, I don't know, there was always just something about like singing in a church. It just always felt really like special, I don't know what it was about that, because it wasn't like a gospel choir. There was no, it's like a Catholic church, so it was quite
But
quite different.
you can create your own presence, so you can actually, I know this sounds really daft, but you can own the audience, can't you? You can hold them for the length of the song.
Yeah, it's mad. I mean, they kind of have to listen in one sense, but in another way, yeah, like, and the acoustics is so lovely, and the words of some of these hymns are so simple, but again, everybody, they're like universal, these words, and yeah, singing in church would just always make me feel really like emotional. I don't know why, but I could never understand it. But I'd speak to people after, and they really appreciated it. So when I look back on it now, I kind of think, yeah, it definitely was like special to be able to do that. Because at the time, you just think, oh, I'm just singing on a Sunday or singing at an event in the church. But yeah, it just felt kind of different. I could never put my finger on why I liked it,
Yeah.
We're getting lots of love on Facebook. The Mally Stokes has said, wow, this girl is awesome. Elwood von
Richenstein.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Chris. He was thinking Alicia Keys, though, that voice is lovely. So, yes, lots of love for you. So, what song do you want to play next for you? Because we've got a couple more lined up.
So the next song I could probably play, I mean, this is again, this is one of two releases I've only done so far with my actual name.
Yeah.
So this is I Will Follow, and this was released in June actually. Was it June? I think it was June. Yeah.
Right then, so we shall give it a spin. So you're listening to Rachel Barrett live on Smile Radio. Get in touch with us, Instagram and Twitter at Smile Radio 3, or you can drop me a message on richard@smileradio.co. Sorry, Chris normally says the 3 at the end, and he's sulking now. He's sulking. I apologise, Chris.
All right, Rich.
I'm just excited. That's all it is. I'm just kidding. Right, you're listening to Rich a little bit, Chris, with our special guest Rachel Barrett live on Smile Radio.
Wandering down these open roads, trying to make some sense. I tell myself the same old tales in my head, and though I try to fix it, I wasn't ready for the fall. But you took me in your arms and held me right through it all. Wherever you go, you go, you go, I will follow. Wherever you go, you go, you go, I will follow. I'm breaking every rule they made, 'cause baby, I don't wanna live that way. Wherever you go, you go, you go, I will follow. Everybody's talking, but I can't hear a word they say. Dancing in the silence now, I feel you close to me. And baby, when the chips are down and I'm out of luck, as long as you're beside me, love, I'll keep looking up. Wherever you go, you go, you go, I will follow. the better part of me, the beautiful that's hard to see. Show me now. Every time you take the lead without a heavy heart, it's clear to see. Wherever you go,